We are back. It's been a week. It's been a week since we've been here. Look, this show is called the Professionals and Animal Lovers Show, but I'd like to make a shout out to a team out of Flushing, New York. We call them the Metropolitans. They're up 5-0 as we sit here right now. That's right. The Metsies are on a tear. This is not a sports talk show, but we are big Met fans here in the attic and certainly on the Professionals and Animal Lovers Show. Val, I don't know if you saw this, but there's these two Diaz brothers. One plays for the Reds, one plays for the Mets. So their parents wear these Meds jerseys, M with the Mets logo. Yes,
so creative. Yeah, cool. I love that.
So shout out to that family. Shout out.
Can I just tell you really quick? The other night, because I can't help it. This is how my mind officially works. I'm watching the game, big Mets fan, and I'm sitting there thinking about how there's a lot of Mets who have, whether they're current or past players, great names for pets. I'm thinking like Eduardo. I think Alonso is a pretty good name. I think Carter. We know someone with the dog Carter. Carter's a great name. I'm like thinking of all of these, like, I even like Keith. I think Keith is a cute name for like a cat. But that's just how my mind works. I'm like, ooh, who's up next?
I think that's great. And I look, I wasn't going to put this picture up again, but for some reason, and maybe it's because of the topic we're going to talk about today, I saw this in the attic. Talk about great names. That's Michelob Light. It was a dog we got back in 1999. Mickey's no longer with us. Although if you look, Val, the guy in the picture looks similar, right? I mean, I was like 21, 22 years old, and I'm not that age anymore. But that was the only dog I ever had. My wife and I got Mickey a whole long time ago. One last thing I want to say, and then I want to introduce the show. Really, the Mets are 72-39. Just a heads up if you're listening. And there's a team that plays up in the Bronx who are 71-40. I'll leave it there. I've now poked the bear. I've done it. I've done it here live. Talk about poking a bear. We do not poke bears. We love animals on this program.
I think Mitchell is a Yankees fan. Is that correct, Mitch? Are you a Yankee fan?
No, I'm a Met fan. In one of my pictures, the Yankee thing just came up in the picture for some odd reason.
Oh, I figured that was you, like, letting everyone know that you love your dog and you love the Yankees. But all right, we're all Mets fans.
I love New York teams.
We love it.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I tell you the truth, Mitchell, I was in Yankee Stadium about 5 weeks ago in a luxury box right behind home plate. Shout out to I Empathize nonprofit working to battle against this human trafficking tragedy that goes on this planet. I'm actually meeting with them tomorrow, but they had hooked me up with these tickets. One of their donors had done such and was able to take some folks into the suite. Shout out to the Tasmanian Devils. Okay. Shout out to the Echinid. How do you say that one, Val? ECH. Echidna. I think that's one of Sonic the Hedgehog. Shout out to the Southern Cassowaries, which looks like a turkey. Shout out to the Bilbies. Shout out to the Alligator Gar. What's he talking about? Look, we're not just about dogs and cats and ferrets on the show. There are many species. She put her head in the hand, gang. I've done it. I've jumped the shark, as they say. Look, another animal thing there. See that, Val?
Well done.
We want to amplify the message that the bond between people who care about animals, compassionate people, is very strong with other compassionate people who care about animals. We're building this compassionate network together so that everyone wins.
Especially the animals.
That's what we're here to do. We're here to learn, educate, and advocate on behalf of these animals. I just learned 9 animals that I'd never heard of before. Capybara is another one, Val, if you want. Vampire bat. All right, we'll stop. Look, let's bring it back. We do have some legislative stuff Valerie wants to talk about. We do have some stuff going on with the Compassion Awards, which is October 11th, which is actually 2 months from tomorrow. 2 months, like 60 days from tomorrow. So that's
so let me start there because Tommy and I decided, since it's summertime and so many people are on vacation and or mentally checked out, we're going to extend our best pricing for a month. So between now and September 12th, if you want to come to the Compassion Awards, which is going to be amazing, you can have the best pricing on your ticket until September 12th. Okay. So the next thing I really need to talk about.
How do they get tickets, by the way, Miss? If I could interrupt 1 second.
Sure.
I'll share it on Facebook for those who might just be only listening. Can you tell them?
good point. The best place to get a ticket is to go to our website, which is www. Hi Maria, hi Noodles. www.PAL, that's P as in Peter, A-L dash, that's not an underscore, that is a dash, like a hyphen, show.com, and get your tickets. Legislatively, we need to bring this up. So as a lot of people are aware, this was years in the making. We finally got the anti-puppy mill bill legislation passed through the New York Senate as well as the New York Assembly. However, the Governor Hochul, has yet to call for the bill to have it signed. I just called her office yesterday and I found out it is still not on her desk. So we need to make people call. We need to call Governor Kathy Hochul. I'll pull up the number on commercial break, but it's like 518-474 something. I want to say 8390. I'm not sure. Forget it. I didn't say that. So the point is, make one call if you live in the state of New York and just say, I'm a resident and constituent of the state of New York, and we're asking Governor Kathy Hochul to please call up this bill, the anti-puppy mill bill. It's A4283, and sign it into law. Okay, that's all we need.
We will share that at the break, Val. We'll share how people can make that phone call. Well, how to make a phone call. If you need to learn how to make a phone call, I don't know what we can do for you there. But if you'd like to get the number from us, we can get you the information to do so.
Here's the thing, this show is not just about highlighting animal lovers, although I love that and I could do that all day, every day. It's also about making the world a better place for the animals we love.
That's all. No big deal, Val. Just
No
make it
big deal.
no big deal. Just making the world a better place. That's all. I'll share our website. I just shared the HD TV thing. If you're curious where I was coming up with all those animals, I didn't know them in my head. I just looked them up. I'll share our website right now on Facebook, but it is PAL- or -show.com, not the underscore, but the hyphen. So whoever came up with that website, me, should have thought of that dash thing becoming a problem, but
No, it's fine. All right, so
let's get into it.
really quickly, I need to mention our newest sponsors for the Compassion Awards. So first of all, and don't make fun of me, this is literally how I do business. I use index cards, and they work. So Peter Maloney of Maloney Funeral Homes, wonderful, wonderful man. Oh my goodness. I thank Ann Levy for connecting us. And they own Maloney Funeral Homes. It's like 5 locations in Suffolk County. And what makes also them so special, besides the fact that they're really caring, is that he has a therapy dog named Coda. And Coda will go and visit people, which I wish was around when my dad passed, because oh my God, it's such a hard time. But like, if you have a dog in the room with you while you're making your decisions about, you know, everything from the casket to those the plastic, like laminated cards, and it would just be so much better and, you know, comforting. So that's a wonderful service. I wish all the funeral homes would do that. The other one that, speaking of therapy animals, that we have a commitment from is Jennifer Devine of Caring People. Caring People is an home health care agency, and they also offer therapy animals to go around and pay visits to people who are, you know, homebound, lonely, animal lovers. I would want that. There's no doubt that's going to be in my future. Ghost marketing. That's our website team. They did our PAL-show.com website. And they just decided to help us and support us as well. So thank you, Britton. And then we have also Contour Mortgage, who came in. They're offering their customers. It's really cool. I wish every mortgage company would do this too. They are paying for people's adoption fees if they close on a loan or a refi or whatever, and they use them and they want to adopt. A lot of people who buy a home, they want next step. Let's get a dog, a cat, a rabbit, whatever. So they're paying for the adoption fees. And then the other sponsors, which we had previously mentioned, Homes by Mara Navarrete. Thank you, Mara. Love you. Whistleman and Heronian. That's a family law firm. Very important if you're going to get a divorce, to get a lawyer that's up on the pet laws. Holy moly. Donna.
You laugh, but the things we learned about when we had them on the show, like it's really incredible, like how
mind-blowing.
I'll get a shout out on that episode. Go ahead, Val. Sorry. I mean, go ahead, Mitchell.
No, that's okay. Okay, so I'm almost done. Donna Fiorelli, who is a bankruptcy and foreclosure defense lawyer. She's fantastic. Known her for a long time. She was also very interested in doing more animal advocacy, which is music to my ears. And Paul Oliveri of Oliveri and Schwartz. They are a personal injury law firm, and they are so compassionate and caring people. I actually have sent this firm and Paul my own relatives, so that tells you, you know, how much I believe in them. And also Carolyn Josephs, who was our first sponsor and wanted to sponsor before she even knew what the sponsor levels were. So that's pretty awesome. And more to come. Phew. All right. I'm done.
More to come's website, moretocome.com. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was another call.
Let's get to our guests.
Let's get to our guests. I mean, I started to share the pages for each of these groups, but we'll put them out there on Facebook for all our sponsors.
Yeah.
We'll get them. Ghost will help us get them on the website, et cetera, et cetera. Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm here.
Look, I'm trying to say in my head, I'm going Mama Cass. So I say Kassman the right way.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
Very good.
We knew each other. I hope we do. I hope we will after the show. Is that a Hawaiian? What's this hoodie? What is that?
A Tommy Bahama.
Tommy Bahama. Of course it is. I'm a big Tommy Bahama fan. Love it. Welcome to the show, Val. And you know each other. Let's just take it away, man. What's the deal? What's going on?
I'm brought here to talk about my dog Freckles.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me just set the table really quick. So Mitchell and I met, I don't know how many years ago. I'm going to go with 7, roughly, maybe 8, maybe 9. I'm not sure. But anyway, you know, he struck me instantly as being an animal lover. And I remember that I thought this was so cool. After we met at a networking event, I received a card in the mail, and the card was a picture of himself with his beloved dog Freckles. And it was a very professional, like, you know, it was very nice to meet you at wherever we met. And this is my dog Freckles. And if I can help you in any way. And I was like, oh, like, it just really stood out. So from that point on, I just always associated, you know, Mitchell with being an animal lover and therefore someone who I adore. So let's talk about your beloved Freckles. This is a tough one. This is a tough subject because this episode is about saying goodbye and different ways to say goodbye, but let's honor her. Take it away.
All right. Freckles really wasn't really a dog, so to speak. She became like a human. You know, every dog that you basically get, you know, my wife and I don't have children. So she was our family. She was not only my best friend, but she was every single thing too. You know, she came to work with me. She was put up on, you know, I worked for a bank, and originally I worked for GMAC Mortgage, a bank, and she was on every one of my cards, even before social media came out. And that was in the early 2000s. She would go to all my closings and everything. I remember this loan officer at Wells Fargo, this guy Randy Asher. He goes, Mitchell, Freckles been to more closings than any mortgage people, you know? And, you know, people would expect her. You know, when I would send out little recipe cards, I'd always have a picture of Freckles and myself on it. And people would always say, oh, look how good Freckles looks. And I change the picture every now and then, you know, because we age. You know, I don't give my picture when I was, you know, 4 years old anymore.
Right.
And she was always with me. Whenever you were with me, you know, as one of my friends, Nick said, she wasn't really a dog. She became a human. She didn't like dogs. She only liked humans.
She was and not that you were using it this way, but that it builds instant rapport, right? Doesn't it? Like,
yes, 100%.
Unless the other individual human being doesn't like dogs, and what is that about? But like, it's like, oh my God, Freckles is here. How cute, right? Like, Freckles. I always wanted a dog, or I used to have a dog, or this, and all of a sudden it's two people having a connection versus, hey, I'm a loan officer. Can I do your mortgage kind of thing? Right?
It becomes at a closing. Nobody argues because there's a dog there.
Wow.
You're not gonna argue. There's a dog there. You know, and they would sit there. Oh, look at the dog, and they just sign the documents and go home. They wouldn't even know it went on. And Freckles was a dog that used to sit in a chair, and she'd sit with like her hind legs up, and she'd just sit there. You know, and she really, you know, I think she just enjoyed being with people and being around everybody. And you know, most like underwriters at my banks that I worked for, they all knew her. You know, so everybody always knew, you know, Freckles. And she, you know, a dog becomes everything to you. You know, when you come home, you know, from being out, who's the first person to greet you? Your dog.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
You know, and when you go to bed, who's the first person to jump in bed with you? Your dog. You know, my wife is there, but my dog is there.
I just started playing a video that I had of you singing. I was going to show it later
I
on.
love my dog.
No, you were singing at the cemetery. You and your
Yeah.
wife, I guess, were singing to Freckle. I
Yeah,
didn't,
yeah.
Happy birthday.
but
Yeah.
maybe we'll show.
So I want to get back to the story when we come back from commercial break, because
Okay.
unfortunately, you did have to say goodbye to your beloved Freckles. And I think that you did it in such a spectacular way. And I want to share it with everyone because, anyone who has pets, it's something that we're going to have to contend with more likely than
Yes.
not. So
Yeah, for sure. How did we run it through 15 minutes of the show already, Valerie? How
I
did
don't
that?
know.
All right. You guys just keep talking.
I know. Well, yeah, you were going to fit. There might be the three of us going forward after this. Forget about it.
I'm okay to let you talk.
I could tell. I have there's actually, before we go to break, there's this poem I found. Mitchell, is that cool if I share that during the break, like on
Yeah.
Facebook?
Yeah, you got it.
I'm just gonna find it. I just want to open it up. I'll do a human's prayer to a dog.
I was going to read that, I think.
Do you want to read it? You want to read it as we go to break, and then I'll put it up.
Yeah, hold on.
This is the P.A.L show.
Human's prayer to a dog. Yes.
We're about to go to a break. We will be at a break after Mitchell reads this. Go ahead, Mitchell.
Thank you for your bark. Thank you for welcoming me home with a smile and a wagging tail. Thank you for kisses and paws without asking. Thank you for your silly antics. Thank you for lying next to me. Thank you for a cold, wet nose. Thank you for accepting me. Thank you for adopting me. Thank you for your patience. And thank you for letting me be part of your life. Love forever. You're human.
Go to break.
Are you a business owner? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you work with business owners? Hi, I'm Stephen Fry, your small and medium-sized business or SMB guy, and I'm the host of the new show, Always Friday. While I love to have fun on my show, we take those Friday feelings of freedom and clarity to discuss popular topics on the minds of SMBs today. Please join me and my various special guests on Friday at 11 a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant. And on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you on edge? Hey, we live in challenging, edgy times, so let's lean in. I'm Sandra Bargman, the host of The Edge of Every Day, which airs each Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc. Tune in live with me and my friends and colleagues as we share stories and perspectives about pushing boundaries and exploring our rough edges. That's The Edge of Every Day on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC. Uplift, educate, empower.
Uplift, educate, and empower. That's what they say here on the network. But here on the program, we say learn, educate, and advocate. That's special. Mitchell, thanks for reading that poem. I know
Oh, you're welcome.
you got emotional and choked up while you're reading it. I know my co-host got emotional and choked up. She hasn't turned her camera back on.
Mhm.
I don't know if she's coming back because you probably got her all mushy from that.
I'm here. I'm getting my therapy dog out.
Wait a minute. Is Jovi a certified therapy dog, Val? Does he have a certificate, or are you just very emotional right now from that reading? Tell me about it.
He's not a certified whatever, but he is my therapy dog.
Oh my God.
And I wanna just make it a little lighter for just 1 second. And Barry is going to kill me. My husband's gonna kill me. But I have to share this, okay? That you just ripped my heart out, Mitchell. But I understand.
There's more to
and I
rip.
get it. I know. So we give cards to each other when it's like, Christmas, Father's Day, Mother's Day, whatever, my birthday, his birthday. And we also kind of like give him a silly voice, right? When we're talking, like as if we're him, like, hi mom, can I go for a walk? Right? So we'll read these cards out to each other, and they're so like vile. they're just like, off colored, but like I'll read the card to him and I'll be like, from Jovi, our dog, happy birthday, Dad. Thank you. Thank you for farting around me all the time. Because you know how much I love the smell of poop. And
Oh
yours
my God.
smell really, really bad. It's like stupid stuff like that. But while you were doing all the thank yous, I was like, I have to make this just a little bit silly because we have so much to be grateful to for our pets, We really do. So I thank you for sharing that. And let's get back to, so let's, if we could, talk about how Freckles, you found out that Freckles was sick.
I'll go over this story with you.
Yeah.
Ready? Okay. It was around Thanksgiving time, and we live by the beach in Long Beach. And then all of a sudden, I'm walking to the beach, and I meet my friend Adam, and he goes, "What's wrong with Freckles?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And Freckles was like laying on the ground shaking. So I picked up Freckles and I brought her back home. And I didn't know Freckles, just to let you know, to go over what type of dog she was never sick in her whole life.
Mm.
She never was sick. Nothing ever, we never spent a penny on her. She was always very, very healthy. So I brought her back home, and she was going to be about 14 years old. Their eyes get a little bit grayer like we do, and they get a little bit slower. When I was always in the car with her, I go, "Listen, I got to go first. You can't go."
Oh my God, I say that all the time.
And so I brought her back home. I rushed her back home, and she was just like shaking. I didn't know what it was. I figured maybe she had like a little tick, but she kept on doing it. So I brought it to my vet, and she said, "Why don't you bring it to this, veterinary animal hospital and see what it is?" So at the hospital, they were really nice because she's 14 years old. I'm not going to do an MRI. She might just have some sort of, tick in her brain or whatever. That happens with dogs. She's a Jack Russell. That could happen. So, I brought her back home, and Freckles took care of me. I didn't take care of her. A dog to me takes care of me and covers all of my needs. So I was with her day and night and day, watching her. And I brought her back to the vet once before when she started shaking, and he goes, "Just relax, it'll be okay." Then every night I would dress in my sweatpants, like a sweatshirt, because it was wintertime, because I knew if Freckles got off the bed, she'd have to go out for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
So in January, she got off the bed, and I took her out for a walk. And instead of going, she went to go poop, but she threw up. So I'm going, "Oh, my baby." So the next day, I might start to cry. The next day, I brought her to my vet, and my vet, there's some pictures showing her, when you show pictures of when she was in her last vet visit, stuff like that. And I brought her to the vet, and she said, "There's a little bit of blood in her stomach." And she goes, "Well, I can open her up and see what it is, or you can go for a sonogram." So I said, no, we'll go for the sonogram. So I went to the hospital in Plainview, and we went for the sonogram, and the doctors take her in the back. And then this doctor comes out. If anybody knows who Dr. Kildare was, he was like the most handsomest doctor in America. He's like a real handsome, good looking guy. Comes out with Freckles and goes, "You know what? You have a wonderful dog here. Take her home. She has liver cancer, and she either has 2 days to 2 weeks to live." And my wife and I, the amount of crying you go through,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't stop crying the whole way home. And Freckles is looking up at us. We're like, "What's wrong? I'm okay." And then I'm thinking about, what should I give her for food? You know what I mean? And the doctor was so nice. He was just like he says, "You just take her home. You don't have to do anything. She's not in liver cancer to a dog, there's no pain.
Hmm.
It's just a little bit of, they're uncomfortable,
Mhm.
you know? And so I called the doctor, well, what should I feed her? He goes, feed her anything. She's gonna die. So I went to the Lido Deli here in Long Beach,
Nice.
and I'm sitting there and I'm crying. And hold on. And he says, what's wrong? And he says, is it freckles? Because everybody needs freckles.
Mhm.
And he made her a beautiful, he cut up hot dogs for her. Where'd you go? He cut up hot dogs for her. He put turkey together, made a beautiful plate like her last supper.
Mm.
And she came home. She was fine. She was eating and everything. She just was going through a little bit of shaking and stuff. So the next day, I took her out for a walk, and she was having a harder time walking and stuff, and I started looking around like, what am I going to do? She's going to die. What am I going to do? And I went online and I Googled, because I didn't want to, burn her and have her ashes. And someone said, oh, get her ashes. You bring her ashes home. I didn't want to put her in my backyard, because what if I move? I'll knock at the door and say, can I go look at Freckle in the backyard? So I went online and I found this place in Bidawee, a cemetery in Wantagh, a dog pet cemetery. And I'm Googling through it to make sure it just doesn't go out of business. And, they have Nixon's dog there. And it looked really, really beautiful. And Freckles is on the couch with Maria, my wife, and she's getting sicker and sicker. And I called up and I said, can I come in and look at the place and see I have a dog that's going to die soon? And the lady goes, okay, fine. I brush and I take a shower. And I say, Freckles, stay alive. Don't go. I got to take a shower first. And as I'm taking my shower and getting ready, Freckles passes on our couch.
Oh.
It was the most beautiful thing in the world, because she gave us that gift of going with us. It's a gift when your dog is with you and gives you your last breath, and you could give it a kiss and bring it over. So Maria
and you're home, and you're not
on our beautiful couch.
Right, you're not in a vet's office.
Yeah. So we both got ready, and we drove to the. We didn't even know where the cemetery was. I'd never been to Wantagh in my life, and we went there, and I went in first. I said, Freckles is in the car, and then they had somebody come out and take her from us at the cemetery, and they said, come inside, and both of us, you can't imagine the amount of crying, snot coming out of you, and it's just the worst. It's like your life is over. You feel like you've lost a piece of your heart, and you hope that someday it'll grow back. There's the Rainbow Bridge and everything. So you sit down with these two women, and you're sitting there crying, and they're crying too. It must be the hardest job for them to go. And they go, what type of casket do you want? Do you want to pick up? So we're sitting there, we're picking out a casket, and then they say, well, where do you want? I said, just buy a nice tree. We'd like to buy a nice tree. They said, you want perpetual care? Yeah, I'll take perpetual care. My parents don't have perpetual care at the cemetery. Freckles does. Freckles will be taken care forever. I don't want. Nobody's gonna go visit her.
Mitchell, I don't know what that means, perpetual care. Is that the grounds? What is that?
No, perpetual care means someone will take care of her grounds forever and ever and ever. Yeah, you don't have to, I don't pay a fee any year, ever.
Okay.
I paid one upfront fee, and boom, it was done.
Is this place Bidawee Pet Memorial Park?
Yes. And it's the most beautiful cemetery you've ever been to in your life.
Well, sure.
They have sprinkler systems. What?
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't know that was there. I've been down that block, because right next door is the Hempstead Animal Shelter.
Yes.
And
it's just beautiful.
And there's not much on the block. Like, you have to, it's a dead end. You gotta turn around. I don't know how I never
It's
saw
at the end of the block.
Yeah.
And so the
Wow.
women, they're selling you everything, and you're just buying everything because you're crying so much. So then after that,
they took possession of Freckles,
Yes.
and they have, like, do they do what is that called?
They immortalize.
Embodiment?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, they do. Yes.
They do that for a
Yep,
dog.
and they put her in
They do that.
and they put her in a freezer until you have. We had it about 2 days later, so everybody could come to the funeral. And then we went, and then you go on the same day, because we just didn't want to go home. We went out and went to the place to get the monument and everything for her and stuff. And you You just take everything. You don't care. They ask you what you
Yeah.
want on it because so much grieving is going on and so much hurt. And then you go home and she's not
And it's empty, yeah.
there. And it's empty and it was the worst.
Oh, God.
So let me go to what happened at Freckles' funeral.
Well, actually, all right, I believe we have to take another break,
Break?
but I
No more
will
talking.
say, I will say before we go to break that this is it's a heartbreaking story, but it's also a very moving story
Yeah.
because I don't know if there's a lot of people out there who have thought about planning a funeral for one of their fur babies.
Yeah.
But it's an option, and it's an option that we all need to know about. I mean, I remember when Joby once, he was like 1 and he was limping and I had no idea why. He probably just tweaked his ankle and I threw him in the car and I ran to the vet. I was hysterical crying on the way to the vet. What if something's really wrong? I was like freaking out, you know what I mean? And he was a puppy at that point in time. After you spend a lifetime, you know, with an animal, letting go is of course very difficult, but
The worst in
let's
the
get
world. There's
into
nothing like it.
absolutely. And I want to get into also, you know, the fact, I mean, you had 55 people at this funeral.
Yes.
That's incredible. I mean, I went to a funeral once where there was under 10 people and it was the saddest thing in the world. She was a customer at a bar and she had no friends. The only people that were there was her boss and the staff from the restaurant.
Noodles had more people show up at her funeral than a human because she was human.
Well, let's just go to a quick break. We'll just say that. We'll be
You
back.
got it.
Yeah.
Howdy, I am Joseph Franklin McElroy, host of the new podcast, Gateway to the Smokies. It airs on talkradio.nyc every Tuesday night from 6 p.m. to 7. Every episode is dedicated to memorable experiences in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and surrounding areas. This show features experts and locals who expound upon the richness of culture, history, and adventure that awaits you in the Smokies. Tune in every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 on talkradio.nyc.
Are you passionate about the conversation around racism? Hi, I'm Reverend Dr. TLC, host of the Dismantle Racism Show, which airs every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc. Join me and my amazing guests as we discuss ways to uncover, dismantle, and eradicate racism. That's Thursdays at 11 o'clock a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a small business trying to navigate the COVID-19 related employment laws? Hello, I'm Eric Sauvert, employment law, business law attorney, and host of the new radio show, Employment Law Today. On my show, we'll have guests to discuss the common employment law challenges business owners are facing during these trying times. Tune in on Tuesday evenings from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
And we're back. So I got to do a couple shout outs. This is P.A.L, the Professionals and Animal Lovers show. Did you know I was going to sing? You know, watching Mitchell and I getting clowning while Valerie left the room, I was like, I feel a little clowny. I want to sing. Got to shout out Mick Collins right now. Mick saying, you know, he lost Rocky, his boy Rocky. So, and he went through this and just, you know, the challenge with losing a fur baby. So shout out Mick, we hear you. And what I mean, I pulled this up. I put it on Facebook just now. Since 1916, more than 65,000 animals have found a peaceful resting place at pet memorial parks at Bidawee on Long Island in Wantagh and West Hampton. Trusted by generations of pet lovers in the metropolitan New York area, the pet memorial parks at Bidawee are sustained by an endowment which ensures their viability into perpetuity. So shout them out. In fact, we should all connect, and you know, maybe we'll talk more about that. In fact, I don't know if you heard, but we have the Compassion Awards right here on Long Island, October 11th of this year. Might be good for you guys to hook up with us, partner up, maybe be out there with us, because
I feel like they need a lot more of these types of memorial parks for people and their pets. I mean, I know that there was another one, Little Shelter, and Huntington has a small pet cemetery, but they're at full capacity like that, you know?
Yeah.
And anyway, so back to Freckles' unbelievable ceremony. I mean, it also seems from the pictures, Mitchell, that it was a pretty raw kind of a day, right? So tough weather, freezing cold, probably hard ground, and yet 55 people showed up. I mean, that's a great turnout.
You want me to tell you how they showed up?
Yeah.
Okay, so Maria and I are sitting in this little room, and Freckles is in her. It's her coffin is like a little pink little cooler box. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful little coffin, and we're sitting there and we're talking, and it's rainy and it's a miserable. It's January what 20th?
Yeah.
And I go, honey, no one's gonna come. Yeah, there's nobody coming. And then 2 by 2, people started to just show up. You know, there was a beautiful there was a sign out front, if you could see this, you know, where burial, and they showed everybody where to go from the by the way, and just there were like cars all over the place, and they just kept walking through the door.
That photo book, is that something that by the way provided for you too?
No, my wife always, you know, this is Shutterfly days. We had we have all these books. Freckles goes to Pennsylvania. Freckles with the Costas. Freckles with mommy. You know, so we have all these books and memories in books and stuff.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, everybody starts to come in, and my wife had music playing for her. And there's this Cat Stevens song. That was his first song he ever recorded, and it's called "I Love My Dog." And all he does is say, "I love my dog. I love it more than you. I love my dog, and it's all I can do." And that's basically the whole song. And that was his first song he ever recorded. You know,
I suddenly became a huge Cat Stevens fan.
I just found it. I don't even know if I am allowed to play it. I was just going to play the song. You know what? I don't need to. Mitchell Kassman is here to sing this.
So all the people that came were, remember, Freckles had a lot of babysitters. All of her babysitters showed up. All the people that knew her, people from that I closed homes with, they came. Mortgage people, my wife's, all of her teacher friends came. You know, all the contractors that I knew, because I'd moved to a lot of houses and stuff with Freckles, they all came. And everybody, there was this other bigger room, and everybody basically said a little thing about Freckles, how they knew her. And it was it was just one of the greatest things that we could ever have done for our dog. And then, you know, they come in just like a regular funeral. They come in, they take the coffin, and they bring it out to where the burial site is. And we got a bench there for her by the burial site with her name on it. Yeah, with our name on it. And so we all went out to, you know, they called us and you come out to the burial site, just like when you go to a cemetery and they dig the hole. And all of us, we said a few little prayers and stuff, and all said we love Freckles. And then we all basically kept throwing dirt on the, you know, on the into the hole. Cemetery.
So Freckles was Jewish.
Of course,
right,
she's
so
Jewish and my wife is Colombian. She's a mixed breed.
So this was like a traditional Jewish ceremony for
yeah. It's funny that you say that, because
it's so wonderful though. Yeah.
Afterwards, a year later, we had the unveiling of this beautiful stone. Our little baby will love you forever, October 13th, 2000 to January 20th, 2015. You know, and that's the bench that's there at the cemetery. All of those other little things are all older. This is from the 1800s. Their dogs buried here.
Wow, this is incredible. So I have to just ask you, like, I hope you don't mind. You don't have to share this if you don't want to, but for anyone out there who's contemplating, like, planning for this and utilizing this type of send off, and wanting like a headstone and all of that, would you mind kind of talking about pricing? Because sometimes that's
Listen, we went a little overboard because we were so grieving.
Not you, Mitchell.
You know, I always want. I visit Freckles probably now maybe 10 times a year. Now I'll visit her more because because of this show. And I'll talk to her about the show.
Aw.
You know, because we're memorializing Freckles.
Make sure she knows we said hello.
Okay, you got it. You can visit her. It's not that far away. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So,
nice.
you know, my friend Lee, whose dog passed away a couple of years ago, he got a plot like right next to where Freckles is. Okay, and he didn't spend as much as I. You know, I went for perpetual care, which is $1,200. So I know that I'm never going to have to give $20 or $25 a month, $20 or $25 a year, or whatever they take a year for the dog for the rest of your life. You know, to get a casket is basically between $400 and $600. You know, the burial site they don't really charge you that much for. I think it's between depending on if you want one or two. And we took a double lot, just in case we want to go there too. Humans can be buried there with their pets now.
Oh my God, I was gonna ask that.
But you need to be cremated.
Okay.
Okay, but you can be buried with your pets at
That
Valerie.
opens up so much opportunity for you, Valerie. Let's be honest. I mean, I don't know what Barry's going to feel about it, but we've already talked about him farting on the show today. So how does it get worse?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Your biggest cost is your headstone.
It looks like a proper size stone, though. That's
Listen, I spent more on that stone than I did for my mother.
Yeah.
That just goes to show how much I love my dog more than my mother.
Oh, there it is.
I understand.
You know, there's
Wow.
every time I go there, the people there, they take care of it, perpetual care. So I'll ask them, can you clean her stone for her because it gets lime on it and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful way to always be with you. It was my first pet that I really loved.
How much was the bench?
The bench, I think, was like $1,000.
Is that in the park?
It was 600. It was 600, Maria? 600.
Maria's she's like that show, like You Want to Be a Millionaire. Like you want to call a friend, you want to do a life.
Yeah.
And we want to get another bench there also in another area. Like somebody mimicked us.
Mitchell, that's on the property there?
Yeah, it's right by her under the tree where she is.
Cool.
I wanted to have some nice shade. She never liked the sun really hot. And she was a good swimmer, so she's near the sprinkler system.
You said somebody copied you. I cut you off on that. What were you going to say? What were they copying?
Oh, other people got benches too. And they, in loving memory of the dogs, they asked us where to order benches and stuff.
Oh,
I love that. I love that so much.
I'm sorry, Val. That wasn't like a thing that they were offering to you. That was something that you came up with as an extra.
Oh yeah, it's an extra. They originally we asked if we could put a bench there. It's okay, because they put the bench together and they put it in the ground. You know what I mean? And you don't really pay for that.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's really.
I love memorial benches. I know someone who lost their wife, unfortunately, and they have a memorial bench for her in the park that they used to go to a lot to take walks and stuff together. But I also would want to just say this. I noticed from the pictures that you sent, I was doing a little and zooming in and whatever. It looks like, I don't know if it was the same day, but did you go to a diner afterwards?
Oh yeah. We all of our friends, they took everybody to the diner. And we all tried to laugh and everything.
Okay.
Long Island, Val. Is that not?
No. Well, this is what I'm saying. This is something I greatly do miss and treasure our diners. Okay, because I moved to Florida and now we don't live there anymore. But the point is that diners are hard to come by outside of, I guess, certain areas. And here's the weirdest part. Ready? First of all, I love diners. I mean, like so many business networking things are at diners, but also you can go there. The best part about a diner, it's open at 3 a.m. It's open at 10 a.m. It's open at 5 o'clock at night. The diner that we went to in Florida, all of a sudden it was like, we're closing at 2. I'm like, what? I'm like, you close at 2 p.m.? I was so confused. Like,
because that's not a diner.
No, I know it's not a diner, and they don't have the big menus with like hundreds of choices. Not that I would ever get anything other than my.
You would never go to the Mako. They have a Mako. Often I would be in a diner and there's Mako, like shark, like on the menu.
Oh, Mako shark, yeah, no.
Like you gotta get your engine fixed, like Mako, like the auto body place or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Pictures. Can I share pictures, Mitchell?
Go ahead.
Folks, well, like it's friends of yours sitting at a diner. Like,
is that the On Parade diner?
No, it is not. That there's where Freckles is buried. There's a smash burger for her. There's a diner there for her. There's a supermarket. There's a pet store for her if she wants to go to the pet store. There's everything is right there. There's a whole big, it's where the Cherry Hill Shopping Center is.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, I want to tell you that I think it's a great call to go to the diner for this type of, it's very cathartic. Diners are great. And I think what you did for Freckles is just really special. And I think more people might want to do it.
When we come back, I do want to focus on something a little bit different when we come back, because Mitchell, we've established how compassionate you are and how important Freckles was. I've heard you say a name a couple times. I want to hear about noodles because I think
that's what I wanted to speak to next.
I want to hear about noodles, but also from a perspective of this network that we're creating, I want to hear how people can connect with you business-wise, because if I was going to, let's say, purchase a home and I needed financing, why wouldn't I go to the person who is so thoughtful and caring about their animal who passed, right? That's who I want to work with. That's who I want to connect with. So shout out your business when we come back. We'll talk noodles.
Got it, baby. Thanks.
We'll talk diners. We'll be right back.
Scrambled eggs, baby.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host a program, Philanthropy in Focus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
In a post-COVID world, you may have many unanswered questions regarding your health. Are you looking to live a healthier lifestyle? Do you have a desire to learn more about mental health and enhance your quality of life? Or do you just want to participate in self-understanding and awareness? I'm Frank R. Harrison, host of Frank About Health, and each Thursday, I will tackle these questions and work to enlighten you. Tune in every Thursday at 5 p.m. on talkradio.nyc, and I will be frank about health to advocate for all of us.
Calling all pet lovers.
Pet Avengers, assemble!
On the Professionals and Animal Lovers show, we believe the bond between animal lovers is incredibly strong. It mirrors that bond
just leave
between
it alone,
humans
Ray.
and their owners. Through this program, we come together to learn, educate, and advocate.
Join us live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. at talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
And we are back. This is P.A.L, the Professionals and Animal Lovers show. I was totally not going to share this all with everybody because it was totally not organized the right way. But guess what? Here's the body of an email just going to show you some photos from the funeral, the Kassman funeral for Freckles, and you'll see the snow on the ground. And if you're not from Strong Island where we are, you don't know what those winters are like here. But I'm just going to share the pictures from the diner. And I see there's a small picture there. You can see it on.
That's the coffin.
That's the coffin, the little pink.
Yes. Yeah.
And then that's you and Maria, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll go and this is a diner for all you people.
There's two of those are two of our babysitters.
Is that right?
There's a father of a babysitter.
So for you folks who eat at Denny's and like maybe the Waffle House, you might not be aware of this. If you're with us and you're up in the boroughs or Long Island, you know what's going on with diners. I mean,
one of the first things I'm gonna hit when we get to New York in a couple of weeks, I'm hitting a diner. I need to actually just circle back for one quick second because I did want to mention a couple cool things that I found when I was looking up some content and stuff for the show. But something that really blew my mind was that there are companies now that offer plush toys that, like, you send them a picture of your pet who passed and they will create a plush toy that is almost identical to your dog. Like the pictures that I saw, it was actually hard to delineate which one was the
That
dog
was
or
Becky her
cat.
last day.
And which
That was when
one?
she was in the doctor's office sitting in the corner.
That's the doctor's office.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, honey. So wait, let me
It's
just,
okay.
you mentioned the cremation factor. I have to talk about this company because I think they're amazing. They do it for humans too, but you can actually send in like a couple of tablespoons of ashes and they will create a jewel, like a precious stone, like a diamond, out of the ashes. And then, of course, there are things like you can capture the paw print, you can turn that into like a mold, or there's a lot of great things out there now, and different ways to memorialize your beloved fur baby. And just the very thought of it can have me make a meltdown over here. So I'm not going to do it. But
don't do it. But we got to show.
I want to talk. This is a professional group.
Yeah.
And professionals who love animals.
Yes.
So let me tell you how animals go. I'm in banking.
Yes.
Okay, so when I first started in banking, when I worked for GMAC Mortgage, they loved animals, but animal was in everything. Then when GMAC Mortgage went basically out of business, I went to another company, and they promised me that my dog could be in the office. It was, let's say, Wells Fargo. Okay, I'm not going to mention any names. And then I'm working there for a couple of years, and the manager at the store goes, you know what, Mitch? The human resources lady said, you can't have a dog in your picture. They called it a
prop.
I'm forgetting the name. A what?
A
what?
Prop.
A prop. Within 5 days, I quit, and I went to another bank, and they loved animals. They let it be in all of my stuff, And then, of course, during the meltdown in mortgages, I had to go to a different bank. So I went to this bank called Citizens, and they didn't want a picture of. I had noodles on it. But secretively, inside these banks, there's dog lovers. So the lady sent me my cards and said, Mitchell, don't tell anyone because I might get in trouble. But she sent me my cards with a picture of me and Freckles on the back of the card.
Sad.
And she said, don't tell anybody or whatever.
Yeah.
And now to this day, I work at Citibank. Okay. And at Citibank, we have these LinkedIn sites, and on LinkedIn is Noodles and I.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you want to be able to advertise Citibank stuff on there, and they're very compliant or whatever. So the marketing girl tells me, she goes, well, Mitchell, I don't know, you might have to change your picture. I said, I'm not changing my picture. It's part of me, my animals. It's part of my motto and everything. And she goes, Mitchell, let me see what I can do. The lady comes back, it's not in compliance. I go, compliance? What's compliance? It's a dog. And then all of a sudden, within 48 hours, she gets it approved, and Citibank approved me and Noodles on my LinkedIn site. It was wonderful.
So if there's anyone from Citibank listening, I just want to say this really quickly. Like, you and I had fallen out of touch for a few years. I don't know how many years it's been, but you know what? When I was racking my brain and going through my phone, trying to think of people I could reach out to find a foster for the 2 Yorkies that needed a foster, after 3, 4, 5 years of no contact and COVID and all of that, I had no qualms about picking up the phone and saying to you, because I know you're an animal lover, do you know anyone who might be interested in fostering? Can you foster? What's going on? And that is a great thing, because when I'm thinking of compassionate people, I thought of you.
So what you're saying, if I can be a bit of a capitalist right now, because I'd like to do that, what you're saying, Valerie, is it's a good marketing tool to have Mitchell, the person, not just Mitchell, the loan officer guy.
Right.
I don't want to be a loan officer guy.
No, the human being who's a dog lover who can help you get financing if you need it, right? Like, let's do the hierarchy. He's a person, right? He loves animals. Oh, and he does business stuff, right? Due respect, Mitchell. You know how I'm trying to say it.
Yeah.
So the idea is that's what we're building here. That's what this community is. It's good people who are compassionate, who can do business together. And it all comes out of an event that Valerie did a number of years ago, where there was name tags and it said, I like dogs, I like surfing. It did not say I'm a certified public accountant, right? We can talk about that boring stuff later once you understand that I like dogs and I like surfing. And that's not about me. That's about a colleague and friend of ours. Right. So Mitchell, we are running out of time. I know Valerie has more stuff to say. I have something I have to say at the end of the show that we do. So do you want to leave anybody with anything? Did we see Noodles? I thought I saw Noodles.
Hold on, let me get Noodles.
Noodles. I want to see Noodles first of all.
This is Noodles.
Oh my God. Hello.
I just want to say like one thing for 1 minute.
Go.
When Freckles passed away, my heart was broken and everything was broken in me. There was this realtor, I'm not going to mention his name, Sean Elliott, who Facebooked me and said, Mitchell, go get a dog now. And I like cursed him. I said, wow, how can you do it? But you know what? A month later, we picked up Noodles. She didn't fill my heart because it took me such a long time for my heart to get filled. But I fell in love with her, and she's my love and joy now. You know, and that's all I can say. It's if you're gonna lose an animal, you don't have to wait. It's
No,
okay.
of course you don't.
Nobody wants you. Your dog or pet, whatever. They don't want you to grieve. They want you to always be happy. That's
I'm
my
gonna
mom.
get a dog and name it Ranzoni.
Well, I named Freckles. Oh, give me 1 more second. Freckles because Freckles' mother's name was Noodles, so that's why I named my next dog Noodles.
Oh,
That's how she got the name Noodles.
freckle looked like on her nose. She had like these little black. Was that the little? Is that where the freckles came from?
No, my other dog Freckles had freckles all over her body.
Oh, shit over.
When we got the dog, the guy had the name Freckles for her.
I was already named that. We gotta leave it.
Yeah.
We gotta leave it there. Val, what you gotta say, Valerie? Anything?
Mitchell, I love you.
I
and-
love you too. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh my God. And everybody come to the Compassion Awards. That's all I have to say.
Everybody,
got
can you
The
hear
shitty
it
bag!
in the background, Mitchell? I love my dog by Cat Stevens.
Yeah.
Really breaking rules here. The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. That's from Gandhi. This is your friend Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector. That is my pal Val Heffron, Mitchell Kassman, my new friend. Appreciate everybody. Make it a great day, and give somebody a hug.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.